what's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Coach Grossman Dynasty here on NCAA 14, featuring that college football revamp, of course. And we go up against an old college foe in non-conference play. If y'all remember, Oklahoma, they used to be in the Big 12. You know who is still in the Big 12? The Kansas Jayhawks. And they are C pluses across the board. They are not that good. 1-4 with an 0-3 conference record. We are, of course, undefeated. And Lee Corso is going to be rocking with us. So, not going to lie, they got a bunch of injuries too while we're at it. So, we'll see if this becomes a doubleheader. We'll see what happens with this game, of course. But either way, whether it does end up being just one game against Kansas or we end up making this a doubleheader, either way, it's going to be a really good one. So I hope you guys are really excited for it. And if you are, make sure you go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you have to be brand new. I'll see you guys on the field, and let's see if we can take care of business against Kansas to get this thing rolling. So let's go ahead and officially get things underway against our former conference opponent, the Kansas Jayhawks. As we'll go ahead and take the kickoff, and look at this room that Tate has down the sideline. It is going to be brought down on around midfield, and y'all already know what Maurice Royal is capable of, throwing for nearly 400 yards and 3 touchdowns in the last game. But let's see, what we can do with our running game as well, as we start off with a run up the gut with Antonio Dunn, and he'll pick up 7 yards off his first carry. And that first down will get us into Kansas territory right from the gut, although managing to get some good pressure. But luckily, we do have one of the best receiving cores, if not the best wide receiver core in all of college football. As we'll run on 2nd and 2, looking to run up the gut. We'll get it up to Antonio Dunn once again. Another 5-yard carry, setting up a red zone opportunity for us here to try to take the first score of the game. As we'll drop back, looks over the middle. We find Brett Parker, and Brett Parker is going to be caught from behind. But man, a 1st and goal opportunity, man. Should be a quick little score for us. We'll see what we can do off this option. Faking to the backup. Maurice Royal runs in the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And the Sooners will go ahead and get things started with a touchdown on the board. And that's how I want to get this thing rolling today. Yeah, absolutely love to see it. So the first drive that we had in this game did end up in a touchdown. But that being said, we'll see if we can go ahead and make it 2 scores in a row as we get another great kick return by Dan Romero. He takes it down the sideline and gets to roughly about the 40-yard line. So great field position once again, taking on a defense that might be a little bit outmatched compared to ours, as Romero, he breaks 1 tackle there and manages to pick up a gain of 13. So another great start to the drive as we find ourselves in Kansas territory once again, as we get another gashing handoff to Antonio Dunn. Gain of 9 on that one. Just great blocking there by the Oklahoma offensive line. As despite the fact that Kansas was at least 8, maybe even 9 guys in the box, they still cannot stop our running game. And this is even with Maurice Royal getting involved. He gets his biggest run of the day so far, a 10-yard run that sets up another red zone opportunity. Over the middle, and we find Aaron Atkins hitting the end zone. Touchdown, Sooners. And another great start for the Oklahoma offense as we now jump to an early 14-3 lead. And the Jayhawks early on are in serious danger of being ran out of the building, as Walter does get it off quickly to Chip Marshall for a little 4-yard gain. That is one of the first, well, not necessarily the first downs of the day, but I mean, it's been a difficult time for Kansas trying to move this football. Oh, big throw here, or at least so we thought. It's going to be intercepted by the safety. Let's go, man. Nate Parks coming up from his free safety position. Comes down, makes a great play on the ball. And Antonio Dunn's going to do the rest. Breaks the tackle. Look at the blocking. He is all by himself into the end zone. And it's another touchdown for Oklahoma. And we already have over 100 yards on the ground. It is already looking like a major rout, as it should be, as Kansas does not have the same caliber of talent that we have on our football team, of course. And it helps when even Maurice Royal, you know, not an athletic guy by any stretch of the imagination, might be slower than the now retired Tom Brady, but he's willing to move on the run, so you still have to account for him, even though he may not be as much of a rushing threat as the Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrences of the world. As now we go 2nd and 5 now. We got the play action set up as Royal looks over the middle and finds Dan Romero. Another big gashing play for a gain of 20. And for the 4th time today, the Oklahoma Sooners are now in the red zone as Royal looks over the middle, finds Dan Romero. End zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And the Sooners coming up. And it certainly seems like Oklahoma, they are certainly going to run these guys out the building. Already up 28-3. And we are not even done with the first half yet. Kansas desperately needing a score as Walters hands it off to Montgomery. Montgomery actually finds a little bit of a hole right up the middle of the field. A nice 16-yard rush for Eric Montgomery. He's actually been having a solid game, but the rest of the offense has not been able to step up. It's been a one-man show for the Jayhawks offensive attack. As now Montgomery gets 69 yards on the ground. Nice. Setting up 1st and 10. Walters on the shotgun. He's going to try to run for the first down. He's got some space to work with down the field, but it's fumbled. And it's going to be recovered by Oklahoma. Let's go, baby. And the turnover will stand, as well as the penalty is actually on Eric Montgomery. Already the 2nd turnover of the day for the Jayhawks. As we're up by 25 still. Going to go ahead. Move Sean Albert into motion. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Sean Albert all by himself. He's got the angle. And no one is going to catch him. And for the 2nd time, we end up scoring on the play after we forced a turnover, baby. As if we don't need any more help. We are now up 35-3 against the Kansas Jayhawks, who are just looking lost and hopeless at this point of the game. Now kind of more so playing a little bit more for pride than they are in terms of actually trying to be competitive at this point. As now Walters drops back over the middle, looks over to the left and finds Jackson, and they actually do end up giving him the first down. Thought that we would at least make it 3rd and short, but not going to get all the calls to go our way, of course. As now 1st and 10, looking to the right, it's Jackson. Jackson, he breaks the tackle, and now it's a foot race. We can't catch up to him in time. And Tyler Jackson will end up getting the first touchdown of the day for the Kansas Jayhawks. So 38-10 at this point. We're trying to get some points on board. They're trying to press on us, and if you press on us, that's just going to simply be barbecue chicken. I don't know what they're thinking, but Dan Romero, he's going to take advantage of the press coverage. And it's yet another touchdown for Oklahoma. We're going to be up 45-10 before we even get done with the first half of play. It's been absolutely insane what we've been able to accomplish from our offense today. It's now another 1st and 10. It's done. Looking upfield. He's going to get some space and pick up 13 yards on the ground. First down for Oklahoma. As we got another 3rd and short coming up. Royal going to hand it off to Antonio Dunn. He's got some great field position to work with. And another gashing carry up the middle of the field. A 24-yard run. As Dunn has absolutely been on fire today. Close to 200 yards on the ground. And honestly, if we did somehow end up playing the entire game with our starters, he could easily get to that 200-yard threshold. But honestly, if we score a touchdown on this drive, going to go ahead and bring in the backup since, you know, it's a long football season ahead of us. And speaking of backups, how about Jeremy Gibbons, though? Bringing a stiff arm to the next dimension. But we can't forget about Antonio Dunn. He's going to get an easy touchdown over the middle. Another score for Oklahoma, and it's going to be an easy win for us here. We end up winning by a final score of 73-24. And it didn't even seem that close. If I really wanted to, I could have easily gotten close to 100 burger. I really felt I could have gotten to that point, but pulled the backups in that third quarter, and hey, rest is history, man. Enjoying this nice win. So with that Kansas game being really easy, let's go ahead and take a look at some custom prospect updates. We start with Santiago Gracias, the 4-star tight end from Orlando, Florida. A little bit of a bust, to be honest. They only have it as a 69 overall, but he is extremely athletic. Just needs to work on his skill sets, and then he would become a very special football player going forward. And there's a big recruiting battle for him. Right now, it's between us, Nebraska, Texas, and USC. So definitely a 4-way battle for him right now. Trying to bring him in. You know, hopefully we can bring him in as well. But this is more than likely going to be a battle that's going to take place moving into the offseason. It will probably not be decided all the way up until signing day. However, that being said, we did have a few other custom prospects that did end up signing on the dotted line early. First and foremost, we have 5-star wide receiver Isaiah Sontaga, and he is electric, man. 4.34 40-yard dash, 6 foot, 180 pounds, and he is going to go ahead and sign with Notre Dame. He is going outside of the state of Arkansas, even though Arkansas gave him a scholarship. Going to Notre Dame to play some high-end college football. The number 7 wide receiver in this recruiting class, definitely getting a pretty big ad. Meanwhile, out in DC, we do have Malachi Woods, who actually went to the same high school as John Gordon, who's now the quarterback at Southern Florida. Malachi Woods has made his decision, though. He is going to be a Duke Blue Devil, actually. The 3-star product coming with some great size. 6'6", 250 pounds. Also had a scholarship to Louisville in the process. You know, has some decent skills to work with as well. We'll see how it pans out for him. But that being said, Malachi Woods joined the Duke Blue Devils to see if they can become more than a basketball school. And then to round things up in terms of custom prospect updates, we have 3-star quarterback Darius Williams signing on the dotted line. Now, he is going to be playing his college football at Appalachian State to put himself in a position to be a heir apparent, because John Ross is the starting quarterback. Season 1 custom, by the way. He is with them, but he's a senior redshirt, so he's going to be done after this season, and Darius Williams can come in and possibly win the starting quarterback job. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Only scholarship offer that he received the entire time. Nobody else went after him. So he's going to be playing at Appalachian State and playing with, you know, in the Sun Belt Conference, a very good conference, and joining a solid football team in the process. We'll see if it works out for him. He will have the opportunity to win that starting quarterback job. So now we set our eyes on an SEC opponent. I hope he will give us a little bit more of a fight in the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Granted, they actually have not won a single SEC game. Their only 2 wins came from out of conference. So, of course, Lee Corso is going to be rocking with us, but they're a solid team, man. B+ overall squad, A- offense, B+ defense. I don't know if it's just because, like, Lady Luck just isn't on their side or what necessarily is going on with this team. But, you know, they took some tough losses. They did play some tough opponents as well. Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, you know, all ranked. Kentucky is also now ranked in the top 15. They just have a very really brutal schedule really to work with right now. So maybe it's because of that, and maybe they're just hasn't gotten on their side. But I'm not going to take them lightly, unlike Kansas. So we'll see if we can finish this episode on a high note. See if we can go 2-0 here in this doubleheader. So let's see if we can go ahead and get ourselves 2-0 in this episode, as we'll jump into the first offensive drive for us here. And looks like the same thing as the Kansas game to start things off, as Antonio Dunn once again gets a really nice carry up the middle and does manage to pick up that first down. As play action, 1st and 10, got a man open over the middle, and we find Jeremy Tate for a gain of 19. And setting ourselves up with another scoring opportunity here in this episode. But forced to a 3rd and long, looking for somebody to get open. Royal, flush to the right, we have a man open, going for the end zone, but it's going to be intercepted. And so we had a promising drive against Mississippi State, but the Bulldogs defense will walk up, and they will force us to go without any points scored. As now the Bulldogs will go ahead and take over, already with a 3-0 lead. And how about that throw? Kellen Sanders winning off the line, although he didn't have that much separation. And yes, you are reading that right. That is number 29. That's their actual quarterback, man, choosing to wear a running back number. Kind of brings me back to the days of Doug Flutie, as McGill going down the sideline. One man to beat. It is going to be pushed out of bounds. What a run by Daryl McGill. As it now sets up a goal line situation. 1st and goal. Got a man in motion moving over to the left. McGill dropping back, facing pressure. And we had a free run at the quarterback, but we could not bring him down. And Daryl McGill makes us pay for it, as Jimmy Nunez continues to expand on his school record in receptions. He now has over 230 catches in his collegiate career. That is most among active Mississippi State Bulldogs players. Matter of fact, anyone that has played at Mississippi State at a receiver position. Bulls, we got ourselves in an early hole. We're down 13-0 here, as we try to, get some points on the board, man. We have not been playing up to the level that I expect us to play so far. As we got another 3rd and long, as Royal, he looks left and actually finds Dan Romero for the first down. Except it's going to be a pass interference on the offense. They're going to call it on Aaron Atkins. And instead of the first down, it's going to be 3rd and 22 here. As Royal will drop back to pass. Doesn't have much time. Gets it out to Myers, who almost manages to get to that first down marker, but they will mark him just short. And you know what? We're kind of in no man's land, so we're going to go for it here on 4th down. Except we can't get it. Antonio Dunn is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. The hole was there, but we just could not exploit it, unfortunately. So down 13-0 still, and now Mississippi State has the ball once again, and they are moving this football downfield. We got some things to deal with. Need the defense to make a play. 3rd and 7. McGill looking, facing pressure. He Houdini's out of this, and he finds Jimmy Nunez. Another touchdown. You cannot be serious. We can't get a sack or like at least an incompletion off of this. I mean, look at this. Pocket is completely collapsed, but then kept his eyes downfield the entire time. And it ends up being yet another Mississippi State touchdown. You cannot be serious right now. That's crazy. So we're down 20-0, as you can see, sometimes EA wants to be AA. Another time that we get pressure on this quarterback, and he still delivers a great throw on the opposite side of the field. It's been absolutely wild here so far. But we just got to play better, and this will not help. Dwight White beats the defense, takes the top off the cover, and we are in some serious trouble. And that massive target on our backs that we had coming in as the number 2 team in America. Well, it looks like Mississippi State is hitting it so far. Down 27-0 at half. And we desperately need a big play. We just need to score. Like, forget about the comeback for a second. We just got to score. We have not been shut out this long the entire season up until today. We are absolutely choking right now. But hopefully these throws will get us back into the game as Jeremy Tate gets his second catch of the day. As now, another 1st and 10, going with a forward vert. Looking around, looks to the right. No, checks back to the middle, finds the tight end, Drew Myers. Another 22-yard catch. And it sets up another 1st and 10 in the red zone. As now, Royal looking. Gonna jump it off to Antonio Dunn, who makes a couple of guys miss. And hey, how about that for a great play by Antonio Dunn, creating some yards after the catch. And a goal line opportunity coming. Moving in a 5 wide. Royal looks right. He's finds Sean Albert, who scrambles into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And we finally get ourselves on the board. It's been an absolute struggle bus this entire game so far. But we do at least get ourselves on the board. And we also force a punt against Mississippi State as well. That will help the comeback odds as Jeremy Tate's able to find some space down the sideline and gets it to about the 35-yard line. So maybe this is the comeback trail that we've been looking for. Gotta execute on this play action. Royal dropping back. He looks right, has a man for a second, but it's thrown late. The safety comes down, and that's also going to be intercepted. Not a good look as Nick Brown gets his second interception of this game. He's been eyeing up Maurice Royal all this time. And while it does not lead to any points for the Bulldogs on the other end, that being said though, time is starting to become a factor. We're still down by 20 points right now. And we got, 4.5 minutes left to play in this 3rd quarter. So time not on our side. We need a quick score. Dunn hoping to provide us one and will at least get us into the red zone. As now, 3rd and short. Dunn under shotgun. Gonna hand it off to Dunn. End zone, no, but it will set up a goal line opportunity. And we need to get Antonio Dunn a little bit more involved. But first, a little bit of a breather as Jeremy Gibbons comes into the game. And Royal finds a hole into the end zone. Touchdown, Sooners. As that will indeed make this thing a 14-point game. And our boys are certainly not going to be done yet, as we will go ahead and check out a studio update real fast, as one of your custom recruits are in the game for Kentucky. Julius Fousen came in as the backup quarterback and just led Kentucky to their first touchdown drive. Still down by a lot, but we'll see how Julius Fousen plays for the rest of the game. We should see him maybe as the starting quarterback next season for Kentucky, but I mean, we got to worry about what we got going on right now. 2-score game, desperately in need of a touchdown. Royal, left-hand side, and finds Brent Parker in the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And we are right back in this game in the final quarter of play. Can we pull it off? 7:20 left to play in the 4th quarter. Royal dropping back. He's got somebody open down the right-hand side, but it's underthrown. And it's going to be intercepted too. Wow. We had him open. We had him open. But we could not execute the throw. It was a tad underthrown. As this field goal becomes absolutely huge. We do force a 3 and out, but I mean, it's now a 2-score game because of that. Although, speaking of 2-score games, Kentucky is also trying to rally back as well. They're down by 14 as now Julius Fousens now has 2 passing touchdowns. Doing a great job coming in relief. As we have played both of these teams, of course, and both obviously really talented teams are both in the top 25. But now we are in desperate need of a spark. Down by 9 points in the fourth quarter. We need a play. Can Tate give it to us here? We got a man down the sideline. Some space and gets out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. That's the field position that we certainly need. But we cannot afford any more mistakes at this point. We have to score on our next 2 drives. Dunn taking it up the middle of the field. Going to make a couple of cuts. And picks up a gain of 15. Now in Bulldog territory. But 3rd and 11. 5 wide. Royal looking. Trying to throw over the middle. Finds Aaron Atkins. But not even close to the first down marker. And now 4th and 7. Coach wants to go with the screen. We'll see if they'll be fooled by it. But they're ready for it though. As Gibbons does not have any space to work with on the halfback screen. And this game is going to effectively be over. And Mississippi State, who has not won a single SEC game, and they also were fighting for their bowl eligibility lives, pulls the upset on us. And as the number 2 team in the nation at home, we take our first loss of the season. All right, boys. So it just wasn't meant to be today, man. We weren't meant to beat Mississippi State. That's why I don't take any team lightly, man. They may have been 0-6, but I mean, they were a talented team. Now, NCAA, they might have, done a little cheesing for them today. But I mean, it doesn't help that we threw 4 interceptions. We tried to mount the comeback, but we just ran out of gas in the fourth quarter, and that's going to make it our first loss of the season. Speaking of those player stats, I mean, Maurice Royal just had a really bad day today. 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. We were shut out in the first half, man. We can't have that if we want to be a national contender. Antonio Dunn did have a pretty good day, though. 16 carries, 123 yards. Honestly, I should have done a better job getting him involved in the offense early. But Maurice Royal did at least have a rushing touchdown, although he had negative 22 yards. In addition, we did see our receivers having a tough time today. I mean, it doesn't help that we didn't make the best decisions. That didn't help, but Sean Albert did get into the end zone. He had 5 catches for 57 yards in this one. And then Brett Parker didn't have a single yard, but he got a touchdown though, so that's cool. Literally nobody in our receiving core ended up with a 100-yard day, and I think that might be a first for us as well. And then defensively, I mean, the defense got shredded in the first half. They clamped up a little bit better in the second half, but I mean, it was too little too late. We couldn't force any turnovers. That didn't help at all. We did see Anthony Baker, Nate Parks, and Barry Foran leading the team in tackles today, with Akeem Lewis, Marcus Johnson, and Matt Mays not too far behind. Ton of TFLs, by the way, for Anthony Baker. He ends up with 5 TFLs in this one. We did get to this quarterback 4 times, though. Honestly, we should have had more sacks. Akeem Lewis ended up leading the team in sacks today, followed by Marcus Johnson getting involved, and so did Anthony Baker. Overall, it was a tough day, and it just shows that maybe we're not ready to win a national championship. After all, this was a team that finished 5-7 last year. We still have a huge improvement from that point, but hopefully we can call ourselves back into this top 2, top 4 region. But it might be too late in the season to try to make up this whatever we fall to. So even with the bye week between the loss that we just took, as well as the game that we're about to play in the next episode, we jump out of the top 10 completely. So that loss to Mississippi State definitely messed us up, but now Illinois is the only undefeated team left in college football. Of all teams, just a two-star school just sitting at the top, man. But there's a bunch of 1-loss, 2-loss teams ahead of us right now. I mean, we can still get into this national championship game. It is not out of the question, especially with one of those 1-loss teams. And Cal, we did blow out earlier in the season, so the road is a little bit harder. We can't have any room for mistakes. But that being said, our national championship hopes are not completely done yet. We can still do something special, given that we are in the most difficult conference in college football. But I definitely think what happened was we kind of looked forward on the schedule a little bit too much and maybe took Mississippi State for granted a little bit more than maybe I subconsciously thought, but next episode is a big game. We take on Texas A&M. They're number 10 in the country. They also just lost in their previous game, so they're trying to get back on track too. So we got some pretty difficult games ahead of us, but we cannot lose sight of what's ahead. We got 3 more games left in this regular season. We can still fight for an SEC Conference Championship. We just got to right the ship, man. So, guys, it's been a really exciting episode. We saw a lot of points scored and a lot of action. If you enjoyed it as well, make sure you go ahead, smash that like button, and also hit that subscribe button as well if you have to be brand new. This is John Chick Gaming on the mic, signing off, but I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.